Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya 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 Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ram Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita 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 Jaya Gauranita Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Radha Vallabha Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Vallabha Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva 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 Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva 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 Jaya Gurudeva Srila Prabhupada ki jai Srila Gurudev ki jai Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakshurvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Tatati Swapatantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Gurum dhinatarinam paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Shinvatam swakata Krishna punyashravana kirtanam hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 14. The title of the chapter is Chitraketu's Lamentation, text number 13. Na tasya sampadaha sarva mahishya vama lochanaha sarvabhaumasya bhus seyam abhavan priti hetavaha. Natasya sampada sarva natasya sampadaha sarva mahishyo vamalochanaha mahishyo vamalochanaha sarvabhaumascha bhuscheyam sarvabhaumascha bhuscheyam abhavan priti hetavaha abhavan priti hetavaha. Natasya sampada sarva mahishyo vamalochanaha sarvabhaumasya bhuscheyam abhavan priti hetavaha. Natasya sampada sarva mahishyo vamalochanaha sarvabhaumasya bhuscheyam abhavan priti hetavaha. Natasya sampada sarva mahishyo vamalochanaha sarvabhaumasya bhuscheyam abhavan priti hetavaha. Natasya sampada sarva mahishya vamalochana Sarvabhaumascha bhusheya abhavan priti hetavaha natasya sampada sarva mahishya vamalochana Sarvabhaumascha bhusheyam abhavan priti hetavaha nam not tasya of him Chitraketu sampadaha the great opulences sarvaha all mahishyaha the queens the vama lochanaha having very attractive eyes sarvabhaumascha of the emperor bhu land cha also yam this abhavam where priti hetavaha sources of pleasure. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki his queens had beautiful faces and attractive eyes, yet neither his opulences, his hundreds and thousands of queens, nor the lands of which he was the supreme proprietor were sources of happiness for him. So this is next 2-3 slokas, there is no purport. So I'll just read out the sloka and then we'll go to the text 17 where there is a purport. So 14. Tasyaikadatu bhavanam angira bhagavan rishihi lokan anucharan etan upagachat yadruchaya. Once upon a time, when the powerful sage named Angira was traveling all over the universe without engagement, by his sweet will, he came to the palace of King Chitraketu. Text number 15. Tam pujayitva viditva prati utthanar tvaranadibhihi kritaitam upasiddha sukhasinam samahitaha. Chitraketu immediately stood up from his throne and offered him worship. He offered drinking water and eatables, and in this way performed his duty as a host to a great guest. When the rishi was seated very comfortably, the king, restraining his mind and senses, sat on the ground at the side of the rishi's feet. Text number 16. Maharishistam upasinam parashrayantam kshitau pratipujya maharaja samabhyasedham abhravit. O King Parikshit, when Chitraketu, bent low in humility, was seated at the lotus feet of great sage, the sage congratulated him for his humility and hospitality. The sage addressed him in the following words. Text number 17. Angira uvacha apite namayam swasti prakriti nam tatatmanaha yata prakrtibir gupta puman raja sasaptabihi. Translation. The great sage Angira said, My dear king, I hope that your body and mind and your royal associates and paraphernalia are well. When the 7 properties of material nature, the total material energy, the ego, and the 5 objects of sense gratification are in the proper order, the living entity within the material element is happy. Without these 7 elements, one cannot exist. Similarly, a king is always protected by 7 elements. His instructor, Swami or Guru, his ministers, his kingdom, his fort, his treasury, his royal order, and his friends. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As it is quoted by Sridhara Swami in his Bhāgavatam commentary, Swami Amatyu Janapada Durga Dravina Sanchayaha Dhando Mitram Chatasyaita Sapta Prakrtayo Mataha. A king is not alone. He first has his spiritual master, the supreme guide. Then come his ministers, his kingdom, his fortification, his treasury, his system of law and order, and his friends or allies. If these 7 are properly maintained, the king is happy. Similarly, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, Dehi nosmin yata dehe. The living entity, the soul, is within the material covering of the Mahat Tattva, ego and Pancha Tanmatra, the 5 objects of sense gratification. When these 7 are in proper order, the living entity is in a mood of pleasure. Generally, when the associates of the king are quiet and obedient, the king can be happy. Therefore, the great sage Angira Rishi inquired about the king's personal health and the good fortune of his 7 associates. When we inquire from a friend whether everything is well, we are concerned not only with his personal self, but also with his family, his source of income, and his assistants and or servants. All of them must be well, and then a person can be happy. So we are reading here in this section of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Vritrasura was killed, and now Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question, how come Vritrasura was a great demon, and then he exhibited such exalted qualities of a devotee, and how this is all possible? So then, and Sukadeva Goswami goes on to explain about his previous life, what was Vritrasura before. And here we are hearing the pastime of Chitraketu, Maharaj Chitraketu. It's a very, very instructive pastime. So here we are in the section where Chitraketu, even though he married millions of wives, 10 million wives, and he could not have a child, he could not have a son. So this is obviously, he says he was not happy. So he was not happy, and is mentioned here. He has his queens and beautiful faces and very attractive queens, and all the opulences. He has so many opulences are there, and still he is not happy. So what is the point? What are we getting actually? So you have everything, still you are not happy. So what is missing actually? Krishna is missing. Yeah, that is ultimately Krishna is missing. But so what we can understand one way. So we have sometimes we have a little opulence, little bank balance, a little bit of fame and all this. Sometimes we take it for granted actually. We take it for granted, we are very happy. But here, Maharaj Chitraketu, even though he had everything in his control, everything in his possession, he was unhappy. So first of all, before we have to understand who are we first, then only we can understand the happiness and distress actually. If we understand we are this body, then there is always some unhappiness will be there. Because this is the material world is called Dvandva. What is Dvandva? Duality. There is a duality there. This is material world. We come to this material world, Ichcha Dvesha Samudayana Dvanda Mohena Bharata. The Dvanda is there because there is some happiness and some distress. Some happiness and some distress. You can't ask one person, you can't say, oh, I am 100% happy here. Nobody can be 100% happy here. And nobody is 100% suffering also. So you can't say, oh, I am unhappy. Nobody is like that. Okay, there is Lord Krishna has arranged in such a way, there is a quota of happiness and there is some quota of distress. Quota of happiness, quota of distress. So it's already arranged like that only. So here, so that is why when we understand we are not this body, we are spirit, soul, having come to this material world, what is the purpose of coming to this material world? If we understand that, then we won't get into this happiness, unhappiness mode, all these things. Lord Krishna says in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says? How one should, happiness and distress, how one should handle that? Any Pandits here? Huh? Yes, exactly. Happiness and distress is like appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. A sober person is not bewildered. No? So it's not like, yes, matras prashastu kaunteya, sitoshna sukha dukkata, agama apayino nitya, tam titikshasva bharata. We have to tolerate. So sometimes Some happiness will be there, sometimes distress will be there. So these situations will keep on going actually. So until we go back home, back to Godhead, then it is Nitya Ananda, always happiness. Always happiness. There is no, there is no seema, there is no, no limit for happiness. Happiness is always increasing, ever increasing happiness. So, but here in the material world, we have to be, there is always some limit, some disturbance will be there, some kind of trouble will be there. Always, this is the nature of the material world. So, it's not, we should not think, why it is like that. It will be like that only. The material world is made in such a way, dukkhalayam asaswatam. So this is the maker of this material world, Lord Krishna. He says, this place is dukkhalayam asaswatam. This place is a place of misery and is a place of temporary nature. So here we can't make a permanent settlement. We can't make whatever, how much hard you may be a this one, you may be a that one, you may be a Ravana, you may be a Kumbhakarna, you may be a Sisupala, Dantavakra, you may be Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakasipu. Whoever you may be, you can't make a permanent settlement here. We can't make a permanent settlement. Only thing is, so our real home is back home, back to Godhead. So only when we go back home, back to Godhead, that is our constitutional position. There only we can be happy. Here is like a little bit of happiness, little bit of distress, happiness, distress. So this is continuing actually. So the question is, the nature of the material world is harsha soka, harsha and soka. We all have this experience, in a day begins, so maybe not 24 hours in a day. We can't say that 24 hours I'm always jubilant. Maybe unless the person is completely in a transcendental platform, completely engaged in the pure devotional service, he will be jubilant actually. No problem, because it's like Srila Prabhupada and all his great followers. They're always jubilant. They don't find one point in time, they're a little bit morose or a little bit unhappy. No, they're always happy. Most of the time we find, like in the normal material sense, sometimes people are happy, sometimes people are in a distress. Harsha, soka, these both are there. This is so we have to understand that. So we can't. So here, even though the king possessed so many things, wives are there, opulence is there, and all the facilities are there, Sarvabhauma, he is the proprietor of all the systems, still he is unhappy because he is not having a son. So this is the background is like that. He is not having a son. Now, so this is text number 13. Yeah, 13, yes. 14 says, that is a very higher stage. That we are not even coming to the stage of we are not this body. we are still struggling. We are not this body. We are spirit soul. Then next stage is like we have to understand who we are, who Krishna is, what is my constitutional position. We have to understand what is this is like a sambandha, abhideya, then prayojana, and then we understand Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma na Sochati na Kankshati. That's a long way to go, but that is interesting. The interesting point here is, even at this stage, Maharaj Chitraketu is not disclosing his full identity. Yeah, he is behaving like Arjuna is put in a condition, so Arjuna behaves like, what is this, what is that, I am bewildered. Like Chitraketu Maharaj also is bewildered. But just wait, hang on for some time. Like then now, Chitraketu Maharaj is going to meet Angira Muni, he is going to meet Narada Muni, he is going to get the mantra from Narada Muni, and then he is going to have the darshan of Sankarshan. He is going to have Sankarshan, and then his whole thing is fast-tracked, going back home, back to Godhead. Everything is fast-tracked in the body of Vritrasur, and then he went back home, back to Godhead. This is the beauty. This is the beauty of association. Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. Little bit association. See, now we are seeing now Angira Muni is going to come. This sloka. He says here, once upon a time, when the powerful sage named Angira was traveling all over the universe without engagement, by his sweet will, he came to the palace of King Chitraketu. So this is Angira Rishi, Angira Muni is traveling. So this is one of the characteristics of sadhu. What is the characteristics of sadhu? Sadhu is like he is always in the mood of compassion, karunika. Suhurtam sarva dehinam ajata satrava santa sadhava sadhu bhushana. Sadhu bhushana is like his aim is how to deliver people, how to give the benefit of this human form of life. That's why sadhus travel all over the world. Sadhus travel all over the world for giving the benefit for everyone so that they can realize the full potential of this human form of life. We have come to this material world. Anyway, we don't want to just abruptly finish this and go away. We don't want to. Nobody wants to. Nobody should also. So, the sadhu's business is, sadhu is always going around to give this benediction, to give the blessings to all the living entities actually. That is a sadhu's business. So, that is why it says here, once upon a time when powerful sage named Angira was traveling all over the universe without engagement. So, it's not like Angira Muni doesn't have a iPad or something. Today Chitraketu, tomorrow Yudhishthira Maharaj. Here today we have to visit some other Prithu Maharaj. No, it doesn't have any engagement. No? Like we all have a daytime planner, all these things we have, all these. Angira Muni doesn't have anything. Narada Muni doesn't have any big plan like that. But they are guided by the Supreme Lord. They are guided by the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord knows. He is compassionate. He is supremely compassionate. Sadhu is compassionate, no doubt about that. But Supreme Lord is supremely compassionate. He knows when the living entity is showing little bit of inclination. When Dhruva Maharaj showed little bit of inclination, immediately Narada Muni was inspired by the Supreme Lord. So here Chitraketu is here. Maharaj Chitraketu. So here Angira Muni is inspired. So Angira Muni is coming here to give this delivering Chitraketu Maharaj. So like that, Lord makes the arrangement. Brahmanda Brahmite Konu Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Ladabi. This is the way Krishna helps actually. How Krishna helps? Don't think that Krishna will come and hold your hand. Oh, come here, this is the Japamala here, this is the Bhagavad Gita, now you have to start reading. No, Krishna may not help. Maybe Krishna may do also for you. If you are fortunate, Krishna may do like that. But what he will do, Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagyavan Jeev. Bhagyavan Jeev. Who is the Bhagyavan Jeev? Who is the Bhagyavan Jeev? Yeah. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Ladabi. Guru Krishna Prasad. Because this is how Krishna's mercy will come. Krishna may not be talking to us directly because we are not that pure. So Krishna, out of his compassion, he will send the sadhu. He will send the Guru. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Ladabi. So this is the way. The process works like that. Guru will send Krishna will send Guru. And then what Guru will do? Guru will show Krishna. So this is like a reciprocal arrangement. Krishna, or seeing the desire of the living entity, he sends the saintly person, sadhu. And then sadhu will give you the path how which you can go back to Guru, go back to Krishna. So this is the beauty actually. So this we have to understand that. So here Angira Muni is coming, and the nature of the saintly person is like a lokahitam. Lokahitam. The saintly person is not interested just in my country, my people, my society. No, he's lokahitam. Loka samasta sukhina bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Because he wants all the living entities to be happy. Not only this one should be happy, that one should not be happy, animal should be suffering, and human being should be enjoying. No, that is not sadhu. Loka samasta. Samasta means every. Sukhino bhavantu. We have to live happily. Supreme Lord has provided for everyone, and we all have to be happy. Using whatever the resources given by the Lord in the service of the Lord, then we can be happy. So this is that Barsi. So we can see in the sadhu's arrival, there is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. See, actually Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is a treasure house actually. It has everything. Whatever you want is there. That's why Kalpa Vriksha they say. This has everything. So you want to talk about how a sage is coming. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam has plenty of example how sadhus are coming. Like Narada Muni coming, how Sanat Kumaras are coming, the Prithu Maharaj, how they are greeting. See all this. So you can learn everything by just reciting or reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We can understand everything. We don't have to go anywhere here, there. We have to read something else. No need actually. Everything is there in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is Sarva Vedanta Saram. Whatever you want to know, everything is here only. This is a Shastric statement. We don't have to go here, I have to read something else in addition to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to understand. No need actually, everything. And Srila Prabhupada with his wonderful commentary, purports, he has given everything here. Whatever you want to know, everything is here only. All the Acharya commentary is all here actually. What Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, what Sridhara Swami is saying, what Jiva Goswami is saying, what Baladev Vidyabhushan says, everything is here only. Where you have to go? When you read Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Srila Prabhupada refers to Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad Gita. When you read Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada refers to Bhāgavatam and Chaitanya. So this is the beauty. By reading Srila Prabhupada's books, we can understand everything. We can understand Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can understand Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we can understand Bhagavad Gita. Everything we can understand. Huh? Yes, he has opened that for everyone. Not only a Sanskrit scholar, only this one can understand, that one can understand, only Chaturvedi can understand, only Dvidedi can understand. No, everybody can understand. So that's Srila Prabhupada's contribution actually. So now our business is just like open the book. We have to open the book only. We don't have to write purports, we don't write translations, all these things are already done actually. Our business is just like open the book and try to read little bit attentively, hear little bit attentively, and then try to apply in our life. That's it. Nothing else is expected out of us actually. Krishna knows that we can't do much anyway. He knows that our limitations, Kali Yuga citizens, our limitations are many. So Krishna has given whatever simple possible, so that we have to take. So now, here we are finding how Chitraketu Maharaj is receiving a guest. Chitraketu immediately stood up from his throne and offered him worship. He offered drinking water and eatables, and in this way performed his duty as a host to a great guest. When the rishi was seated very comfortably, the king, restraining his mind, senses, sat on the ground at the side of the rishi's feet. So this is the way a sadhu has to be received actually. Normally when a sadhu comes, what do we do first? We do, and as soon as the sadhu arrives, we first, see, everything depends on the time, place and circumstance. Time, place, kala, desa, patra. Everything works on that way. Because it's not like you may be sitting in a plane. You can't immediately do the Pada Puja, Guru Puja, all this may not be possible. Okay? Sometimes, depending on the time, place and circumstance, you have to obeisances. Or, see, Srila Prabhupada goes on saying, sometimes you may not have anything to offer, and kind words. Kind words you can offer, that is sufficient. And sometimes like you are in a situation, you don't have any paraphernalia to offer. You don't have the aarti tray, you don't have the paraphernalia, all these things are not there, no problem. At least a glass of water. That's all right. Even that is not there. Just kind words. At least very, very hospitable to that person. Like that way, we all get. See, this is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam explains how the great, like Lord Krishna, when Narada Muni came to the palace, how Krishna worshipped him. You remember that? How Krishna worshipped Narada Muni? Yeah? Sudama also, see, she is another big Pandit actually. She is quoting examples actually. That's good. Sudama also, Krishna worshipped Sudama also. Why? Because Krishna doesn't know that he is God? Or Narada Muni doesn't know that Krishna is God? They know each other. Krishna is God. And Narada Muni says, I am his servant. But still out of etiquette, Krishna being in the Varnashrama Dharma, he is being Grahastha, as a Narada Muni, he is offering him respects. So Narada Muni also accepting. He knows that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but still it's like as a matter of etiquette, he's just accepting that. So this is here also Chitraketu Maharaj very nicely, immediately got up and then offered his the drinking water, eatables, whatever is possible, and that can be done. So same thing applies to us also. Like we saw in the pastime of like Balaram Purnima is coming next week. Which pastime I am referring to? You know what I am going to tell a pastime. You remember which Balaram Purnima is coming, and we are talking about a reception. Which pastime we are referring to? I think you will know. I'll give a clue also. When Balaram came, one person didn't get up from the seat. No, that is Romaharshan. Yes. So this is when Balaram Purnima is coming. So good time, talk about Balaramji. Yeah. So Lord Balaram entered this arena when he was going Tirtha Yatra. At that time the sages were assembled, and then there was Suta, this is Romaharshan Suta. Romaharshan, he was sitting And then Lord Balaram comes, Romaharshana thought, now like I'm sitting in the Vyasasana. So now I'm not obligated to anything like that, he thought. But Balaram is above all. Like Balaram is Loka Guru. He's a Guru of Gurus, all the Gurus. He's not under any control or anything. So he's Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he didn't get up also. He didn't even offer any. Normally that is the etiquette. When, see, for example, if some authority comes, so then actually we have to just take permission. Like we are sitting in the Vyasasana immediately. So then we can ask the permission. If they continue, like, okay, sometime they will say, okay, you please continue. Okay, we'll continue. They have to say something. We offer the seat and ask them to continue. That is the etiquette. Not that, okay, I'm sitting, I have to sit in the Vyasasana, no, not even 9 o'clock, no, I can't, I will not get up from the asana. Not that like that. So the same way, so this is etiquette. Because Śrīmad Bhāgavatam teaches everything, how to deal with sadhus, how we have to behave with them. And where he is sitting, he's the lotus feet of the Angira Muni. He's not like, oh, I am a king. Angira, you sit there. I'm going to sit in my Singhasan. No, not like that. Angira Muni, even though he was a mendicant or sadhu, so he was king, even though he was a king, emperor, everything, he was sitting at the lotus feet of Angira Muni. And then Angira Muni was very pleased actually. And he said, O King Parikshit, when Chitraketu bent low in humility, was seated at the lotus feet of the great sage, the sage congratulated him for his humility and hospitality. The sage addressed him in the following words. This is the sadhu also. Like when you read in the Sutta Goswami, is when the questions are asked, what do they do first? The speaker, when question is asked in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, especially in the first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, you will find immediately they will not give the answer. First of all, these questions are Loka Mangalam. Krishna, this is like all the prashna, all the questions and answers, they are all about Krishna. Because about Krishna, this is all for Loka Mangalam. So first they congratulate, you asked this wonderful question. Even the person asking question is also glorified actually. So because you are inducing the speaker to talk about Krishna. That is very important. That is what the whole life is all about. We have to keep talking about Krishna. We have to render devotional service to Krishna. And this way, our life will become perfect actually. So that is why here, Angira Muni is congratulating. You are like setting an example. Yadyat acharati sreshta. Yadyat acharati sreshta. Because you are setting an example so that the common man can follow how a sadhu has to be received, how a sadhu should be looked after. Everything is here. So now, after doing all this, so this is, and now you may wonder, why the saintly person is very important? Why we have to give respect for a saintly person? Why we have to give respect for a saintly person? Any idea?
Because they will bless us.
Yes, correct. Very good. Very good. Yeah, very good. Every day we sing this song in the Mangalarti. What song you remember? Yeah, that is samsara. One stanza it comes, he is Sakshad Haridvena Samasta Sastra. The Guru or the saintly person is a representative of the Lord. Representative of the Lord. We may not be able to communicate with the Lord directly at this stage, at our conditional stage. So we communicate through the sadhu. So that is why sadhu is given respect. Sadhu knows. Here in Srila Prabhupada, when he came, the reporter, the usual question, are you God? All the reporter have this doubt actually, are you God? Prabhupada said, I am not God, I am a servant of God. Prabhupada said, I am not God, I am servant of God. And in next sentence only immediate, I am not even servant of God, I am trying to be servant of God. Trying only, we are all trying. Actually, servants of God is already reserved actually. Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, they are all the servants of God actually. Servants of Krishna. They are all the real servants. Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Narada Muni, all the Sukadeva. We are all aspiring. That is why when we write, we are not servant, we are aspiring to be servant of the Lord. We are aspiring only. We have to aspire. Aspire to be the servant of the Lord. That is what we are doing. So that way, by rendering service to the Lord, this is Mahat Seva Dwaram. By rendering service to the Lord, we get the mercy of Krishna. This is the way to get the mercy of Krishna. The easy way to get mercy of Krishna is serve the sadhu, serve the sadhu. Then Krishna becomes very pleased actually. See, this is like there is a great reciprocation of love between the Lord and Krishna and his devotees actually. In the Durvasa Muni, Ambarish Maharaj pastime, Lord is very, very categorically told Durvasa Muni, my dear Brahmana, I can't do anything. He wanted this Sudarshan Chakra to be taken back. He said, no, my dear Durvasa Muni, I can't do anything. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam toham madhanyeta janati naham tebhyo managa. My dear Durvasa Muni, the sadhus are in my heart. I am in the heart of my sadhus. My sadhus do not know anything other than me, and I do not know anyone other than my devotees. So the best course of action for you, go and fall at the lotus feet of Ambarish Maharaj. If Ambarish Maharaj forgives you, then only the Sudarshan Chakra is going to go back. Look at the potency of Vaishnava. Because why the Lord gives so much importance for the Vaishnava? What is a big deal for Lord Vishnu? Okay, Sudarshan, come. So he will come back. But Lord didn't want to do that. Why? Because he wanted to emphasize, you are thinking, you are a big yogi, big muni, big mystic person, you can create harm to a devotee? No, you can't do that. It will reverse on you only. You will have problem. He had so much problem. He went to Brahma Loka, Sadasiva Loka. He even went to Vaikuntha. Even went to the entrance of Vaikuntha, had a darshan of Lord Vishnu also. Still he could not be saved. So that is the Lord's special blessings actually. And now Angira Muni is going to speak in this sloka where Srila Prabhupada has kindly given a purport. The great sage Angira said, my dear king, I hope that your body and might and your royal associates and paraphernalia are well. When the 7 properties of the material nature, the total material energy, the ego, and the 5 objects of sense gratification are in proper order, the living entity within the material element is happy. Without these 7 elements, one cannot exist. Similarly, a king is always protected by 7 elements. His instructor, Swami or Guru, his ministers, his kingdom, his fort, his treasury, his royal order, and his friends. So this is Angira Muni is building. This is like building a case. Like Angira Muni immediately says, Sarva Dharman Paritaja, immediately surrender. Why all this nonsense, nothing, just forget about everything. Because Angira Muni didn't do that actually. Same way Krishna also. Krishna also could have finished in only one sloka in Bhagavad Gita, all the 18 chapters is like a extra only. Krishna would have said, first sloka only, like Arjuna, is all nonsense. Surrender and then. No, Krishna didn't do that. Krishna is all encompassing. Krishna knows we are in different levels. Not everybody is in the level, okay, Krishna, I am completely 100% surrendered now. Anything, please tell me, Karishya Vachanam Tava. No, we are not in that level. So Krishna says, okay, now can't do that, then do karma yoga. Karma, first to say karma. That's a karma kanda. Na? Like today we are talking about karma kanda because we are asking for putra. Putra. Srila Prabhupada many times explained, what is the meaning of putra? Punnama naraka iti trayate iti putra. Punnama naraka trayate iti putra. There is a hell called Pun. From the putra is the one who has to deliver the forefathers from that hell. Putra. Putra pinda prayojanam. Putra, what is the word? There are so many things are there, but putra's meaning is, putra is there, so why people are hankering for having a putra? Because they say putra will be able to do the pinda. The Vishnu Prasad he will offer, and that way all the forefathers and the people who could not get the suitable bodies, they will be benefited actually. That is why the system. So one sense what Maharaj Chitraketu is asking is not wrong. One sense, from a Karmakanda section, yes, putra is needed. But as Jai Sachinandan Prabhu yesterday mentioned, yes, but there is a superior situation is also there. But Karmakanda, yeah, you perform all the Karmakanda, Jnanakanda, Upasanakanda, everything. You perform, even there is a little bit of mistake also, then you get into big trouble actually. Little bit mistake, big trouble. Any examples? Anyone think of any example in Karmakanda? You do some little bit mistake, you get into big trouble.
Like this pastor when he chanted the mantra.
Yes. Correct, yeah. Correct. Yeah. Any other pastimes like this? So many pastimes are there. Yes? Yeah? Indradumna Maharaj, yes. Get up when Agastya Rishi. Yes, Agastya Muni was coming. Yes, anything else? Prabhu, you are thinking? Kumbhakarna, yes, I was also thinking of Kumbhakarna. He was a Nityatvam, he is a Nidratvam. He got something, he wanted something, he got something else. Nityatvam, he was Nidratvam, always sleeping. Yeah, this is a problem actually. And also the King Nriga, that lizard, where Krishna came and delivered. No, because he did everything perfectly. From external point of view, nothing, no problem at all. But he didn't know that this cow will go from this side to that side to this side. He didn't know that. He thought, no, like, but these two Brahmanas also, like, they just fought like, that cow only. Even 100,000 cows, I don't want that cow only. This person says that cow only. So this is the problem. So this is what the dependency, why bhakti is superior. Because other processes, the dependency is on something. Dependency is not Krishna. If dependency is something, dependence on Krishna, Krishna will, whatever there is a dosha, there is some faults, whatever is me there, Krishna will absolve everything. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Krishna is ready to do that. But Karmakanda is not like that. Karmakanda, you do this, you will get that. You do this, you will get that. You do this, you will get that. The prescription you follow, you will get that. They are duty bound. One sense, Devatas, you follow this and then you will get. But they will not see to that it is going to be beneficial for you. No. Sometimes they will give you something, you ask for it, you get it, that's it. And then after that, what do you do with that? Then it is your problem actually. That is why we have to be very careful. So these prescriptions are there. We have to, and we are not making fun of, because at least performing sinful activities somebody is doing, if they are doing some karma kanda, it is a gradual elevation. The whole Varnashrama system is for that only. Varnashrama charvata, purushena parapuman, Vishnor aradhyate panta. Vishnor aradhyate panta. How a person can gradually come to the stage from a materialistic person, then do some karma. You do karma, that's no problem. But better than that is karma yoga. Better than karma yoga is jnana yoga. Better than the dhyana yoga. Then finally, if you give up all these things, then completely bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga. That is the best. That is the ideal situation. So here, the Angira Muni is asking here, what is he asking? Whether all these things, a king is, Srila Prabhupada quotes Sridhara Swami from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam commentary, one of the commentators of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. He says, a king is not alone. Because this is like normally the emperors. Emperors, we have any emperors? Can you name few emperors? Chitraketu, yeah. Parikshit Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Any Maharaj you say they are emperor only. That is Maharaj. Maharaj is emperor only. So that is easy to remember. So these emperors, they are not alone. They are not alone actually. They are supported by so many people. Like even Dasharatha Maharaj, or Janaka Maharaj. Wherever you go, all these great persons also, they were always supported, always guided by the Raja Guru. There will be a Raja Guru will be there. Like the Dasharatha Maharaj. Dasharatha Maharaj, who was the Guru of Dasharatha Maharaj? Vasishta Muni. Vasishta was there. So it's like they will be guiding actually. The Guru says the system is very wonderful. Sometimes people may think, king means completely is autonomous, is autocratic, he can do anything and everything. Yeah, one sense he can do, but he is also under control. He is also under the control of Guru. And then Guru is also not autocratic, anything he can do, he is under the control of Krishna. So like that, these checks and balances are there in our system. It's not like a complete, and also we have another system, Sadhu Sastra Guru. If somebody makes a statement, it's not like you have to immediately accept it. Yeah, you put that into a test. What is the test we have? Sadhu, Sastra and Guru. What the sadhus are saying, what the Sastra is saying. And finally, for individual, the Guru is the authority. Because, see, it's like you go to the chemist shop, so many things are there, so many medicines are there, give me one medicine. It doesn't work like that. So, best way is not like, so you go and get the prescription and then go and get the medicine. The same way, Guru personalizes. the whole thing. Personalizes the instructions. And accordingly, the person's mentality, person's suitable situation, accordingly, Guru prescribes something. Okay, you do this. So that way, that Guru's mercy is there. So that we are supposed to do. It's not like, okay, I'll do anything and everything. No, not like that. So that is why Guru is needed for our personal, spiritual this thing. It's not like, Guru Maharaj, I'm buying a lottery ticket, which number should I buy? Should end in 8 or 7? No, that is not, Guru is not needed for that actually. You don't need a Guru for that. Here, that is why when the sadhu comes, what to ask from the sadhu, that is very important. Sometimes people come and ask the sadhu, my passport has lost, what should I do? You have to go to the passport office actually. Or you don't have to come to the sadhu to ask for what should I do when a passport is lost. Like, you have to, same way when I have to do which car I should buy, this one or that one. That you don't have to ask the Guru actually. Because you have to ask the Guru how to make spiritual advancement. When Vishwamitra Muni came to the palace of Dasharatha Maharaj. He came to the palace of Dasharatha Maharaj, and at that time, he was inquiring. So what do we normally when Vishwamitra Muni is coming, how are you going to welcome him? Welcome him. How are you, mate? How are things? Can you inquire Vishwamitra like that? No. What do we inquire? What do we ask? Even a spiritual master comes, like, Maharaj, are you okay? Normally we health is okay. Those things we'll ask. But you know what Dasharatha Maharaj asked Vishwamitra? I also didn't know. After the reading only I found out actually. So if you don't know, should not worry actually. So he is asking Vishwamitra Maharaj, Punarjanma Jayaya. How things are going in your endeavor of overcoming this birth, death and disease and old age. Punarjanma Jayaya. So he is asking, so this is the caliber of these Maharajas, all these Raja Rishis. So they are also Raja Rishi. In one sense, they are now different actually. Actually, one sense, Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, they are the same caliber as a sannyasi, as a big authority only. There is no doubt. But they have taken this, they have been given the authority to rule the kingdom. That is why they are putting on the dress as a king. That's it. So Maharaj Dasharat is asking Vishwamitra Muni, is it Punarjanma Jayaya? Because we have come to this material world and the sadhu's business or anybody's business should be, we have to see to that there is no Punarjanma. Because Shankaracharya says in Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. This is like again. Otherwise, what happens? Again and again, samsara chakra will start actually. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi rakshati dukkhum karane. Because otherwise, if you don't get into this thing, take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, then Punarjanma will come. Punarjanma will come, Punar problem. More and more problem, for a problem, another problem. That is why, so our aim should be, actually, one sense, Punarjanma also, if it comes also, what is the big deal? Vaishnava Acharya is saying, doesn't matter. Kita janma hoid, jata tuva das. Even if I have to take birth, I have to take birth in a family of your devotee. No problem. Even that doesn't matter. But still, our aim is somehow or other remember Krishna, somehow or other render devotional service to Krishna so that our going back home, back to Godhead will be guaranteed actually. So here, Angira Muni is asking, a king is not alone. He first has his spiritual master, the supreme guide, then comes his ministers, his kingdom, his fortification, his treasury, his system of law and order, and his friends and allies. All these things are there. When Srila Prabhupada many times gives this statement, when king comes means he doesn't come alone, all the paraphernalia, all that different entourage they call, all entourage, everybody comes. If king comes like that, when Krishna comes also like that only. Even before Krishna comes, so Krishna is going to come in 2 weeks' time. So everybody appeared, all the devatas, they were all asked, now you go and occupy the strategic position, strategic families, you take birth, so that you can all assist in the pastimes of the Lord. Actually, Lord doesn't need anything. Lord is Atmaram. He doesn't need anything actually. Sometimes we think, I did this for my Lord. Lord, this is what you did for me. Sometimes we question the Lord also. But what can you do for the Lord? Lord, He is self-sufficient, Atmaram. He is Atmaram. We can't do anything to the Lord. It is out of His compassion, He accepts something. Oh, this fellow is struggling. Let us give little bit of it. That is why he is asking patram, pushpam. What? As if he doesn't have a patram in his garden or pushpam in his garden. Why he is asking us? Huh? No, he has everything, but he is inducing us. He is inducing us the mentality of doing something for him, for our benefit actually. When we do something for Krishna, Krishna is not going to be the beneficiary. Krishna is a benefit. He is not the person who is going to benefit anything. But we are going to get the benefit actually. By doing something for Krishna, even you remove one small piece of dust from here to here, Krishna remember, oh, that day you did something for me. He will just catch hold of you and then he will take you back actually. That is Krishna's special blessings for us. That is why devotional service is not something which we have to, it's not like we are doing devotional service, we are not doing devotional business with Krishna. We don't want to do, Krishna has given everything for us, our sustenance, Krishna has given everything actually. Our duty is just to offer something to Krishna, that's it. And whatever remnants he gives, accept it, no problem. Prasadam, as much prasadam you can take, no problem. There is no shortage. Kitchen manager is here, he is smiling also, so there is no shortage here actually. So, but Krishna is never obligated. Even though he feels obligated, actually he is not obligated to anyone. Any point in time he is not obligated. So, now, his king is coming with all the entourage. Everybody is coming. And now, in the Bhagavad Gita, Dehinosmin yata dehe. The living entity, the soul, is within the material covering of the Mahat Tattva, ego, and Pancha Tanmatra, the 5 objects of sense gratification. Because in this body, all these things are there. Because the Atma, this is like the mind is there, intelligence is there, the senses are there, sense objects are there. If anything is little bit out of order, it's difficult. For example, we have little bit of fever, little bit of cough, little bit of cold. Very difficult actually, very difficult. How? Because the whole body is aching, so it's not, you can't perform things. So the system is arranged in such a way so that all these things have to be in place for us to do anything. So that is why we have to look after the body. The body has the body is used in the service of the Lord. So that way the body is also a vehicle. We need the looking after the body. So, and it says here, when these 7 are in proper order, the living entity is in a mood of pleasure. Generally, when the associates of the king are quiet and obedient, the king can be happy. Because if a king, if he has to rule the country, then there has to be some kind of quiet situation has to be there. If it's like, for example, every time you find somebody is coming, attacking from this side, attacking from that side, so king will be in anxiety. So that is why he has to have the army, he has to have the fortification, he will have a fort, he will have everything. All these things have to be there so that he can look after. Actually, king has responsibility is not only looking after the material well-being. The material well-being he has to look after, and also king has to look after the spiritual well-being of the citizens also. Because if the citizens perform some devotional activity, the king also will get some benefit of that actually. It's not only they are getting, king also will get. And some sinful activities are happening, and then king also will get some reaction for that also. Depending on 1/6 or 1/4, whatever it may be. Because they get, so that's why very important, the king has to ensure that all the citizens in my kingdom, or my area, they strictly follow the rules and regulations actually. Like even in the regime of Ramachandra Murthy, or in the regime of Yudhishthira Maharaj, actually you don't have to die. Only if you want to die, you die. Actually here, no option given whether you want to die or still you have to die. That is our option now. But in Yudhishthira Maharaj, in Ramachandra Murthy's time, you don't have to die. If you want to, enough, I lived enough, I want to go away, then only you will go away. Like Bhishma Dev had this boon, special boon, Swachanta Marana. Whenever he wants, he can die. But Yudhishthira Maharaj is not like that. Our situation is not like that. Our situation is death is forced upon us. So all these things are there. So that is why the king, how he rules the citizens, and finally the king also will get all the benefit actually. That is why he called Raja Rishi. It's not like ordinarily Raja. Raja is there, Rishi is there, but this type of kings, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, all the Ambarish Maharaj, they are Raja Rishi. They are Raja and also Rishi also. And they are representative of the Lord. And then they think like all the citizens have been given to by the Lord, so I have to look after them. Look after their material well-being, look after the spiritual well-being. That is very important. Looking after their material well-being is not a big problem. Yeah, that king has to do. And also he has to devise plans and means so that how the citizens will be looked after also. So that is why if you find like in many places, like especially in India, you find big temples actually. Tirupati, Srirangam, and all these Udupi, all big temples are there. You can't imagine even constructing those type of temples nowadays actually. Very difficult actually, very difficult. One bedroom apartment only, whole life you have to be in mortgage actually. What will you construct actually? One bedroom apartment you construct and then and your whole life you are in mortgage only. What Srirangam temple, Tirupati temple, what can we construct actually? But the kings, they constructed all these things. Why? Because they knew this solace is going to be here. The people of this, the Kali Yuga, people will be coming, more and more people will be coming. There will be all sorts of problems will be there. They will get peace and tranquility. They will get the blessings of the Lord here. That is why they spend so much money. But here, now we are thinking like we are building casino, this one, that one. We are thinking we are going to give big prosperity. No, like this is nuisance actually. Because it's like one sense, like one advertisement is coming, you go on casino, you gamble. The other advertisement, those who are affected by casino, there is another helpline actually. What is this? This is like a hypocritic. Now one side you encourage casino, other side helpline for those who are affected by casino. But why did you start it in the first place actually then? If you think there is a affected helpline you have started, so that means there is a nuisance only. But you have started that, and then your helpline, big line is there to get relief from that. So this is the problem. But the kings were not like that. They put so much energy, so much of this thing, so that they know the people will come and then they will get solace here in these wonderful temples. So same thing like here also. Like now here, Melbourne, such a big place. We have a temple here where we can come and we can worship the Lord, we can pay our obeisances, and we can take Krishna Prasadam. This way, we get all the benefits, all the benediction. Even though we may be sitting here in Melbourne, Srila Prabhupada said, this is not Melbourne, this is Vaikuntha. This is where Lord is wonderfully worshipped. That place is no longer part of the material world. It is a spiritual world. So these things have to be remembered. So now, when here Angira Muni is going to ask, and he is going to give also, some benedictions he is going to give. But what is more important, like as Prabhu mentioned, Jai Sachinandan Prabhu mentioned yesterday, yes, this is one process, Karmakanda process. But the better process is like we have to equip ourselves. Don't depend on, my son will come and he is going to do all the things, or my other fellow will going to come. Why can't you do? Why can't we become serious in spiritual life? So we ourselves, our own this thing, depend on the Guru, depend on Krishna, then that process will be better actually. So because sometimes like, there is a story, you might have heard the story. One time in the village they wanted to do some abhishek. They said they closed one big container. Everybody should come and pour some milk into that. The container is closed. One fellow thought, everybody is pouring milk. If I just put some water, how does it make any difference? So he came and poured water. So that day happened, everybody thought like that only. That day opened that whole thing and all water only, there is no milk only. So same way, you may think that, okay, my son will do, my daughter will do, they will do some sraddha, they will do this one, they will do, and that way I will be elevated. But I will freak out now. No, that doesn't work like that. You can't cheat Krishna like that. So we have to do our bit also. We have to do our bit. Whatever little we have to do, we do that also. And then depend on that's also, if they want to. So this way, we don't have any loss actually. There is no loss in any situation. So this is why. That's why Krishna says, Neha Bikrama Nasosti Pratyavayona Vidyate Swalpam Abhyasya Dharmasya. Even little bit of abhyas, little bit of practice we do, that will protect us. So that's why we have to take it very seriously. And yes, the options are there, Shraddha is there, Pinda is there, all this, Putra is there, but you make preparations before only. You make everything right in your life, that way, like your process of going back home, back to Godhead is guaranteed. Krishna says that. If you do this, then I will personally come and I will take you. Krishna says in 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and also 12th 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna, Mrityu, I will take you out of the Mrityu Samsara Chakra. Krishna says that. He will take. Krishna will take us. Okay, we may be big swimmer, big thing. But if we are in the middle of the ocean and we are struggling, and somebody comes and picks us from that situation, then that will be the greatest benediction. So Krishna's benediction is there for us. So we have to take advantage of that pure devotional service without any motivation, without any interruption, without expecting anything in return. Krishna, I have done da. You please give me D. All this. No, we don't want to ask Krishna that. Krishna, I have done anything. This is what I can't do anything for you. At least let me do this. That way, like that person's claim is Krishna is very pleased with them. So that is why it's a Shastra, it is mentioned, all these things, surrender doesn't start like on early morning we start, now I have surrendered to Krishna. It doesn't work like that. So they say gradual process, anukulyasya sankalpam, pratikulyasya varjanam, rakshisyati iti viswaso, goptrutve varnam tata, atma nikshepa karpanya, sadviti saranagati. Saranagati means it's not like one morning, I just got up, I surrendered to the Lord automatically. No, it won't work like that. We have to gradual process, anukul, accepting things favorable and rejecting things unfavorable, and have the firm conviction that Krishna is my protector. Nobody else is the protector. Krishna is the protector. Krishna only can protect us actually. Because the medicine may be there, doctors may be there, all the arrangements may be there, but if Krishna doesn't put a tick, then we are not coming back actually. Krishna has to take, then only we are. Krishna is the protector, and we have to be like Krishna is my rakshisyati viswasa. We have to have the viswasa. Then there is a guarantee that we don't have to go through all these things. So I'll stop here. If there is any questions or comments, Hare Krishna. Yes, ma? Yes. Yeah.
Like, I did this and you did this.
We don't want to do business with Krishna.
Yeah, so why did Draupadi ask, when she was in the forest?
Yeah.
Why did she ask Lord Krishna, I called for you and
Yeah. Yes, that's a good question. Yes, why Draupadi asked actually. Because sometimes what happens, normally we are supposed to serve the father, but sometimes we also ask something from the father. Correct? But ideally, actually Krishna likes that also. Because it's not like when you should not mistake, because Krishna, if you ask something from Krishna, Krishna is not going to, we should not have a business, like a standard protocol, today I put one coconut, tomorrow Krishna, what are you going to give? Today I did one garland, what are you going to do tomorrow? Like that. No. Because Draupadi was in great distress, and that distressed condition, he asked for Krishna. Okay, that's not a problem. You can also ask, we can also ask. But what we ask is, we don't ask for anything for our own benefit actually. What Draupadi didn't ask for her. Draupadi asked for, what did she ask for? Huh? Sorry, ma?
she asked I called you.
Yeah. Where were you correct? But she asked, one place she asked for, when she was insulted by Dushasan, he called Krishna. But you understand, when Krishna was called at that time, Krishna, what Krishna says? Draupadi, one call of you, I am eternally indebted to you. Draupadi called Krishna. We are also calling Krishna, Radha, Vallabha, Gaurnit. We call like that. But that feeling is not there. When Draupadi called Krishna, then hey Govinda, she called, and that Govinda, Krishna says, I am eternally indebted to you. So that is the quality of the call. The quality of the call is yes. And same way, you are questioning, when Draupadi was in the forest, she called for, when Durvasa Muni and the family, the associates, 60,000 disciples were there. Otherwise, Durvasa Muni is going to give curses actually. So then he wanted to serve. And then the Akshaya Patra was already washed and kept everything packed. And then Krishna came and he ate something from that Akshaya Patra. And then, so that's not a problem. Actually, asking from Krishna is not bad, but asking something material, asking something for our own benefit is not good. Also, Krishna has a trick also. Krishna is very clever actually. Even if you ask something, Krishna has a trick. He will fulfill your desire in such a way that your material desire will not grow. See, this is another trick Krishna has. Krishna has a way of fulfilling your desire. He will fulfill your desire also, and you will not have any more desire also. So that is Krishna. So that's the best thing is, even you want to ask something, ask Krishna only. Akama, sarva kama, va moksha kama, udahriti, thivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whatever your desire is, still ask Krishna. But the intelligent person doesn't ask for any mundane things. Give me this, give me that. Instead he asks, how can I serve? How can I become a servant of yours? How can I be doing some seva for you? Then that person will get all the blessings of Krishna. Is that okay? Second question.
My other question was like, so Chitraketu Maharaj, he asked from Angira Muni.
Yeah.
I want a son who could, I want, please give me a son.
Yeah.
Because, he could deliver the four fathers and he could rule the kingdom of
Yeah.
the king time.
Yeah.
So, why did Angira Muni give a son who could give happiness and distress?
Yeah.
Distress he gave us.
Yeah, because the problem is in the material world, there will be always, see, Angira Muni also knows that here he can't have a comfortable situation. So, yes, there will be happiness will be there and there will be distress also will be there. But we are going to see that at that time, the Chitraketu Maharaj, he just heard the first sentence. You will be the cause of jubilation. That's it. And then they said it will be cause of sorrow also. And when the sorrow thing, they forgot actually. He didn't pay much attention. But the problem is here, the material world, one day people are born and one day they have to die. They have to pass away, correct? When they pass away, then there is some, when they are born, there is some happiness there. When they pass away, there is some distress there. So that is the nature of the material world like that. But the interesting thing is, Angira Muni and Narada Muni came and then they gave this situation. And after that, whatever the enlightenment was given to Chitraketu Maharaj, that take him all the way to Sankarshan. Lord Sankarshan had darshan of Lord Sankarshan and the next lifetime Vritrasura and went back home, back to Godhead. So that is more important actually. But yes, giving a son is okay. But when the son, you'll read, when the son, after the dead son again came into the body, and then he was looking here and there. Who are they? He's looking at Chitraketu Maharaj and the wife and everyone. Who are they? Why are they crying? Then the parents got bewildered. I am crying for this, my son. And then this fellow is asking, who are they? Because then he could understand, we have so many births we have taken, so many fathers, so many mothers we have taken. So that is why, so it's not like we should not become, still as a father, as a mother, we have to look after the children. No, it's like, I had so many sons, so many daughters, okay, you be in the dark, I'm not going to look after you. No, in this life, whatever is there, we have to look after them, but also remember to take them back to Krishna. Back to Krishna. And then the parents have to ensure that in this lifetime they become a nice devotee of the Lord. So that way they don't have to take birth again into this material world. That responsibility is there. So there is nothing wrong, but in the material world you will get only this only. Dvanda will be. There is some birth means some death will be there. So Krishna says that. So you can't avoid that one. That is why Angira Muni gave that type of blessing. You can't have a permanent situation here. You can't have an all-happy situation here. He will be giving some happiness to you and then there will be some distress also for you. Okay? Yes, Prabhu. You want to say something? Hare Krishna.
At the end of the lecture, you mentioned about surrender.
Yeah.
Can you tell us the stages of surrender?
Yeah.
6 stages.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 stages of surrender. Yeah, that's what I mentioned. Like I'll there is a verse here. I'll just so that what is the 6 stages of surrender is called. I'll read this one. So where Prabhupada gives a wonderful translation for that. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshisyati iti viswaso goptrutve varanam tata atma nikshepa karpanya sadviti saranagati. The 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, full surrender and humility. These are all the things, the items of surrender. Krishna. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu.